I don't wanna give you the wrong impression. I need love and affection. And I hope I'm not sounding too desperate. Cause what?
I need love and affection.
Love, 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 love and affection. Nancy.
All right.
Period. Y'all sound good. Okay, period. Welcome, guys, to episode 5. We're halfway through the season, y'all.
Yeah, that's weird. That's weird.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
I feel like
Episode 5 of Life is Weird podcast. We have some special guests with us today, but we're gonna introduce ourselves per usual. I'm Gabby.
I'm Queso.
I'm Sage.
Big Kels in this thing.
And our 2 special guests.
I'm Xavier. And I'm Alex.
Thank you guys so much for being here. We really appreciate y'all so much. We definitely wanted some male insight on this episode because we're going to be talking about dating and relationships part 2.
We gotta run it back.
We had to run it back and make it even spicier than before. So, that's why we got some intelligent young men on this episode. Period. And we always start our episodes off with a weird acronym. So today's weird acronym is...
Give it to us.
Without endless intent, romance dies. Let me get a little snap. I'm going to run it back. Without endless intent, romance dies.
Yeah.
So however you want to take that, just, take it for what it is. But it's really facts, though. Like, if you are not constantly dating your person or being intentional, that shit gonna die. So, and of course, we have to do our shameless plug. So today's shameless plug is going to be our dear friend Kiya Stanford.
Shout out to Kiya.
Yes, shout out to you, Kiya. Her business is called Multi-Stream Millennial. And Kiya is the owner of a brand that helps entrepreneurial-minded professionals create sustainable streams of revenue. She offers business coaching, free resources, and hosts community events for people to stay connected. And I felt like she was the perfect shameless plug because dating is expensive. So she's going to help y'all get some money in y'all pocket so y'all could be in the dating realm, okay?
Because we in a recession.
No, we really are. Inflation is crazy.
Inflation
is crazy.
It's ghetto out here.
So yeah, shout out to you, Kiya. Her Instagram again is Multi-Stream Millennial. I'm not gonna spell it out for you because y'all are intelligent people and should know how to spell. So again, Multi-Stream Millennial. That's Kiya Stanford. Shout out to you, girl. And we're just gonna dive right in. Okay, so let's just start off. What is everyone's current relationship status? Okay, so we'll start with you and then work our way all the way around to Alex. And also use one word to describe your overall dating experience in Atlanta.
Okay.
Emphasis on in Atlanta.
In Atlanta. I'm actually, this is going to be kind of funny because like I said, we started off season 1 very differently. So, it's going to be kind of like an update for everybody. But I'm single. Still single. As far as the word that I would use to describe my dating experience in Atlanta, disappointing.
Damn.
But evolving. I know only one. But
that
disappointing
works.
but evolving.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay. Well, I am one of those people who the relationship status changed very significantly.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, crazy.
From season 1, right?
Yeah.
But no, single AF. And one word to describe the dating experience, I would say pissy.
Damn.
Pissy.
Yeah, y'all suck. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay, it's getting spicy already, but I'm gonna just break the single train.
Period.
I'm in a relationship.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
How long has it been?
2 years.
Oh my god.
I know.
Shout out my boy.
Yeah.
Shout out Sam.
My man.
You a good one.
Yeah.
Please.
It's been 2 years. And one word, I'll describe my overall dating experience prior to, my relationship. I will say ghetto. Because
Solid.
no words. It was just real non-existent for real. So, yeah, Kelsey.
Yeah, so another one of us whose relationship status changed very drastically from the last time we talked about this. Single as a Pringle. I am
Y'all are killing
single.
me.
I'm out here single, married to Jesus.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Married to Jesus because I just can't anymore. But my one word to describe my dating experience. Bullshit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A great word.
We love a
That's
two
one
syllable.
word, right?
It's like 2 syllables,
Yeah.
one word. Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's all together.
Okay.
It's bullshit.
This is terrible so far. I just want y'all to know. But
Really bad.
Xavier.
So I'm in a relationship,
Mm-hmm.
and I would say difficult.
How long have you
Prior to-
and your girlfriend been in a relationship?
Almost 2 years now.
Almost 2 years.
Right, already.
Wow. I'm telling you, time
It
flies.
definitely does.
Difficult is a great word.
Alex, last but not least.
Of course, I'm single.
Welcome to the club.
I've been in the club. I'm probably president of the club. One word to describe dating in Atlanta: underwhelming.
Oh, that's a great one.
I like that.
That's a great one. That's a great one. Damn, that's a good
I
one.
might need to move.
No facts.
Grab me somebody.
Atlanta
Snaps
word.
fingers for real. This was real poetic not in an encouraging way, but seems like everybody has kind of had similar words to describe what the dating scene has been like in Atlanta. So tell us about one of your worst dating experiences. We don't have to go in any particular order, but if you have any stories that come to mind that you would like to share, please, because I know there's plenty of people out there who can probably share some crazy stories.
How do we have the guys pop off? Go ahead.
Yeah.
First of all, how do y'all define dating?
Okay.
Great question.
So for myself, I would say there's 2 types of dating. I would say there's like casual dating when
Okay.
you are just going on dates, getting to know people, feeling them out. There's no title on it. Y'all haven't mutually agreed that you all are exclusive.
Okay.
And then say you have been dating 2, 3, maybe 4 girls, whatever, and you find somebody that you actually see potential in, that you like, and could, see it transitioning from casual dating to exclusively dating, then y'all make that mutual decision like, okay, I like you, you like me, we are exclusively dating now with the intent of moving towards a relationship. So that's how it was a mouthful, but I would.
No,
Yeah. There's definitely.
like facts. Like,
there's
there's
levels.
what we said. Same. Yep.
Yep.
Retweet.
I would say it's not crazy because it didn't happen, but someone did try to set me up once.
What do you mean set you up?
At least I felt like it was a setup because it just didn't make sense. Because I was on Tinder doing Tinder things, and the girl that I matched with, as soon as I matched, she hit me up immediately. Hey, what's up? And I was like, oh, hey, what's good? You want to come over? I was like, come over.
It's a little thirsty.
Not come over.
And at first, I'm thinking like, all right, shawty cute. I mean, we'll see. But then I'm like, all right, bet, cool, what's up? Do you want to FaceTime first so I could, talk to you, see you, or anything like that? Because I don't know you like that. And she immediately went to, why would you be like that? That's rude. You trying to try me, disrespectful. And I was like, no. I was like,
You just invited me to your house.
right. And I said, if anything, like, I'm a guy. You know what I'm saying? This is safe. It's probably more safe for you.
For you to want to see me,
Yeah.
feel the vibe.
Exactly. So after we went back and forth for her feeling pissy about it, then I was like, yeah, I'm cool. I didn't even message back. And then she messaged me like 30 minutes later. You still trying to come over? I was like, oh,
Nah, yeah.
She was trying to rob you.
yeah, it felt like
Yeah.
Something.
Her brother was going to meet you at the
Yeah,
double.
no,
Facts.
fact. That's
Yeah.
It ain't too crazy.
weird.
What about you?
Alex, I know you got a story. Come on.
Don't do me like that. Yeah, I do got a story though. I probably got a few, but
Lord. Pick the worst one.
Pick the best one.
one off the top of my head. So I had messed around and dated this girl like 5 years older than me. Right?
How old are you?
I'm 25.
Okay.
So like,
30.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So 30-year-old or whatever. I'm thinking shit gonna be sweet because she older. You know what I'm saying? When I say sweet though, I just mean like it should be smooth sailing. She should know what she want. I know what I want. You know, I'm thinking it's gonna be cool. You know, holidays coming around, whatever. So, you know, all the holidays or whatever. She go back home with her family out of state. Great. Over the course of her being home for 2 weeks, in the span of 1 week, I was blocked 3 times.
What?
Oh my God.
You know me, Gabby, so you know I ain't even out here doing no crazy stuff like that to get blocked 3 times.
3 times is wild.
Wow.
First off, just cut me off after the second time. Like, don't even, you know what I'm saying? But
Like,
nah, I just thought it was a little crazy, a little wild. But the way I would get blocked was crazy. Like, she traveled towards, you know, the western part of the United States, so they're a different time zone, right? So if I'm getting texts at 3 a.m., it might be 1 a.m. or midnight, wherever she is, you know what I'm saying? So, like, of course, I'm not responding, but to her, I don't know. I wouldn't even say nothing, I would get blocked. Like, it's not like we were arguing or anything. Like, it's legit, like, I wake up to, like, 6 text messages, like, you ignoring me, you playing.
To her.
Bro, I'm asleep. It's the holidays. I'm at home with my parents. You know, I got my own crib. I'm at home with my parents. Like, it's crazy. So that was one of the, especially just the, not even expectations, but just kind of like maybe what I thought it would be like coming into it. It was
different.
It just showed me, just because age literally means nothing when it comes to dating. Like, age means nothing. So that was that was crazy. To me, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe you dodged the bullet.
No, for sure. God was looking out. God was looking out.
With that, though?
Absolutely
like,
not.
For the rest, nah.
No. After the 3rd time, I was like, hey, like,
You got it.
when you get back, you could hit me up, but really, I'm cool.
good.
Yeah.
I'm good on you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Y'all got any story?
I'll tell one story. There was one time I went on this date with a guy. It was a good date. The only thing that threw me off was he took me home to meet his mom
Oh, no.
on the first date. I don't know about y'all, but I don't play about people meeting my family.
No.
Like, I have this rule where I'm like, we need to be in a relationship for at least 3 months before you even meet my mama, because I don't play about my family.
Absolutely.
And a lot
You
of
know
people
him
are
before?
temporary.
Did you know him before?
No.
No, he was just new.
Yeah.
Oh,
And like I said, the date was nice, but then like at the end he was like, oh, we're just gonna swing by, you know, my crib real quick. I didn't know he lived with his mom. That's no issue. I just didn't know his mom was gonna be home, and he's introducing me to her, and I'm just like, this is the first day. You introducing me to your mama already? Like, it wasn't a bad date. I don't think I've ever had like any terrible dates, but that just kind of threw me off, and I was just like,
You know what that kind of sound like on the
What?
low? Like, he wanted his mom to see you immediately so he could go back home and say, Mom, what do you think? Should I go? Should
for
I?
sure.
You know what I'm saying?
That's giving
Like, he
mama
needed his
love
mom
life.
approval to be like,
is that like what mama's boy type of thing? Is
That's
that what you're
giving
saying?
mama.
That term
Yeah.
is a little, yeah. It depends on how
On the
you
first
view that
date, that's
term.
giving mama.
Ain't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Either way.
dodge the bullet.
Red flag.
Yeah,
Red
red
flag.
flag.
Reddest.
That really, now that makes me think, okay, not of like the mama's boy situation, but I actually do have a bad date experience, and I low-key forgot. Like, I went to the movies with this guy, and it was cool, like, you know, whatever. We walking through the parking lot, and all I hear is, really? That's what we doing? That's what we doing now? So, he never mentioned no girl before, whatever. Like, you don't know. No, I don't think I've ever told this story.
Okay.
Because he wasn't relevant. He's
Gotcha.
not, like, it wasn't really pressing. And so he was like, that's what we doing now? That's what we doing? And
we
so I'm looking at him. He looking at me. I'm looking at him like, I don't know who this lady is. So she's yelling and she's saying his name and stuff. And no shade to the woman, but she looked a little ratchet, and she had a car full of people that looked like they could get active. For those who don't know me in real life, I'm 4'11". I'm very little. I don't do the getting active. This is not me unless I absolutely have to. And I was not going to stand a chance. And so he is dealing with her. And so I just walked away and I got in my car. I'm like, I need to get out of here because I don't know. One, nobody knew where I was at. I usually tell like my people, like my family, whatever, I'm going here. Nobody knew where I was at that day for whatever reason. And then like she was just giving me bad vibes. So I got in my car and I'm driving. I look in my rearview mirror. This girl tried to run me off the road. She like,
Lying. Yo.
I swear, she like drives up behind me and comes like to the side by like my mirror and everything. And she's like honking the horn like she's about to hit me.
Over a dude,
Oh my god.
And I was like, this is not even my man. This was not even my man.
Bitches are
We
nuts.
just went on a casual like.
Clearly not hers either.
We just went on a casual date, and he called me after and was like, I'm so sorry. Like,
So sorry.
I didn't know, like, she was going to do all this, that. And I'm like, you don't even have to explain yourself. This is our first and last date. because I don't want to be put in any danger.
No type of situation.
No, like I'm good, but yeah. So that's really that. Y'all have anything else before we?
I got one. All right, we friends now. So it I dated this guy in college. It was in college, so obviously this is gonna get a little interesting. So I was dating this dude for a little while, and I went home with my friend at the time. She's from Savannah, so we would go home with her every year for Orange Crush, because it was the same time as her older sister's birthday. So we went to Savannah for the weekend. I come back. This girl that had been living with me, mind you, I went to Clayton State before I went to Georgia State. Well, I just gave it away, so fuck her. But I don't care. So I went to Clayton State before I went to Georgia State. So at Clayton State, like if you have somebody, I think it's the same at like most schools. You have somebody living in your dorm that's not in your dorm, like you can get kicked out of school. This girl is staying with me, mind you. She has somewhere to stay. She just don't like her roommates. So I'm risking getting into it with my roommates for her to stay with me because she feels like she's being bullied, whatever. I come back. She done slept with my nigga. Oh! She slept with him.
I didn't think that's where it was going.
I didn't think that's where it was going either.
Yeah, that was a plot twist.
Guess who told me?
Him.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
He said, you don't ever have to talk to me again, but she's not your friend. I was like,
Dang.
I don't fuck with you either. He said you don't have to, but that girl smiling in your face is not your friend.
Dang.
So the day after, listen, to this day, the day after, she came up to me, hey, can we talk? Fuck no, get your shit, get out. Get your shit and get out. And she called herself trying to yell, so my roommate, we don't even talk. But my roommate came out like, what's good? I was like, she trying to buck. So let's buck. And so her brother came and grabbed all her stuff. And she moved back into the little house she was staying with her teammates. She ran track with her teammates or whatever that didn't like her. Now I understand why they didn't like her. But yeah, and then she just started getting herself into situations. I guess karma was being karma, but she's like known as like, like in our generation of Clayton State people, the people watching this that are from my they know who I'm talking about.
Damn.
But
I didn't think that's where it was
like
going.
and then like literally years later, she saw me at a party and she was like, I know I'm the last person you want to hear from, but I'm so proud of you. And I was like, girl, get the fuck. How do you still have this number? Like, get the fuck off my line. Real shit. But yeah, no. And you know what's funny? Me and him are cool.
That's crazy.
I mean,
Me and him
He
are
told
cool.
you. Like,
At least he kept it a buck. Like, it
He
don't
told
really
me, and then like years later, he came. Like we reconnected as friends, like all of us, not her, but he was just like, yeah, like, I'm really sorry, and like, I mean, obviously, like that would never happen again. But I think we're both just over that. But we're cool. Like we're friends. He's a dad.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Like that's
But-
wow.
Yeah, I was like,
wow.
like I know we be talking about the opposite sex, but these bitches ain't shit either. Like they're really
It's
not.
a two-way street.
At all.
It's definitely a two-way street for sure.
Yeah, that was nice.
Well, Atlanta, you've heard it here first. The dating scene is trash.
So don't be coming to our city thinking you're going to find your husband. Because
Please.
it's trash here too, y'all.
If you come here for work, all right, but
Just diamonds in the rough.
you're
Yeah.
gonna be alone.
know
They
where
in
you
the
gonna
rough.
find
But they there.
I don't know where you gonna find
You gotta
them,
dig
babe.
deep.
Yeah.
It's in the left.
But okay, well, thank y'all for being so vulnerable and sharing. No, noted. Don't sleep with nobody, man.
Your ass beat.
But do you
Actually,
guys, as far as like meeting people in the city and stuff, do you guys use dating apps? Do you find yourself meeting people more organically, like face to face, or how do you guys go about like meeting people in Atlanta and like the dating scene?
So when I was single, I was Tinder, Hinge. I even tried Bumble.
What's
Like,
the better one? Is there like a best
Did
one?
not get on Bubble.
I got on Bumble. Don't get on Bumble.
Bubble ain't it.
Bubble's
No.
crazy.
But it depends on what you're looking for. I feel like you're more likely to find potential quality partners on Hinge.
Yes.
I've heard.
If you try to get some butt, go to Tinder.
Absolutely.
I've heard.
Somebody's crazy.
I agree. So I've done both. And even the dates that I've done, like I think I did like 1 or 2 dates off Tinder. Right? And I set up a lot of other dates on Tinder. They was all right. But the ones on Hinge, I was like, oh, y'all all the cool people.
You have to pay for
what I'm saying?
Hinge?
Huh?
You have to pay for Hinge?
I think they got a
access certain
they got like
yeah,
a premium.
They got like
just
a premium joint.
Gotcha.
So I think I paid for the premium joint.
Paying for
Did you
paying
meet
for
your
is crazy.
Did you meet your current partner on a dating app or no?
No,
Okay.
I met her through a friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
That story. The pool party. It was
pool party.
yeah. Nah, I actually, you guys, I'm on Hinge now.
Okay. Oh yeah, you did say that. You did say that.
Yeah, I do not do dating apps, but I was like, everybody's on Hinge. One of my other friends, she on Hinge, and she was like, you should do it. And I was like, hey, okay, fuck it. So I'm on. Don't put where you went to school on Hinge because all you're gonna get is people from your school. And I got at least 3. I was like,
And do.
I had to take it out. I usually go about by meeting people, but I've noticed even when we go out, we went to Georgia State, so everybody kind of knows everybody. Mm-hmm. So even when we go out to different events, I notice we'll always see somebody we know.
Absolutely.
And I'm just kind of like, damn, I can't date you because you dated that person.
Yeah.
And you, I'm married to Jesus.
Okay. Got it.
It's not working out.
I don't do the dating apps. They kind of scare me, I'm not gonna lie. And I feel like I'm lucky to say that, like, I have no problem meeting men organically. Like, I'm always meeting someone through, like, a mutual friend, or, like, if I go out, I'll meet somebody. But, like, I don't know. I feel like, and no shade to the people that use the dating apps, but I feel like I would have to, like, not be bored, because I feel like that's a negative term, but, like, I feel like I would really have to be in a drought first.
Yeah.
Before I go on the date. Like, I need to be in a drought. But like I said, right now, I've been meeting people here and there. But I don't know. I can't do the dating apps right now.
Everybody has their preference.
That's fair. And it can be dangerous. Yeah. It can be very... I have a friend who got catfished off of Hinge. I was like, how do you get catfished on it? I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was bad.
Yeah, I'm also on Hinge. It's cool, but like I kind of feel like there's a lot of weird people on there.
Agreed.
So I definitely would prefer to meet people organically, just because like if you're in like the same kind of setting, like you can really get a feel of like who
they are for real,
catch the vibe,
have a conversation with really catch the vibe type of thing. Like the dating app thing is cool, but like. I don't know. It's weird. And people be on there for weird reasons too. So,
because have y'all ever experienced, like, say you match with somebody on this dating app, you're talking to them, you FaceTime them, it's cool, and then y'all meet in person, and you're like, you're different. Like the vibe isn't there.
I haven't gotten to the meeting in person part. I think there's this one guy, and all we talk about is Harry Potter. So I was like, I don't know, maybe I'll meet this guy.
If you just mention Harry Potter, you didn't win 10 brownie points in
No, I'm not even gonna cap. He's
like,
top. He's at the top. He was like, so what's your house? I was like, Gryffindor. He's like, Slytherin.
I know.
So that's sexy to me. But nah, I haven't gotten to the point where I'm like
meeting in
people.
person.
I literally signed up for Hinge in December.
Okay.
So
still new.
I'm very, very new to the scene. Like,
I haven't on Hinge, but I remember like back in the days, long time ago's days, in early college when Tinder was starting to come around.
Girl, I remember those days.
Yeah, I met a couple people from there, and actually it led to face to face, and it's been some weird. It was some weirdos on that bitch for sure. But Hinge, no, I haven't gotten that far.
Did you ever feel endangered meeting like people from Tinder?
Endangered. There was one time, it was a weird situation. I was real, like, just didn't give a fuck about shit for real. And it was this Morehouse man.
Girl, red flag.
Yeah.
Red fucking flag.
And I went to his dorm, and I knew I wasn't really supposed to be there, too. And it was just a weird experience. It was a very strange experience, but he was fine, so I was like, I'm here for it. But, yeah, no. No.
When y'all are on these dating apps, like, because I've tried several different approaches. Like when you randomly DM a female or a woman, and sometimes it's like, do I hit it with a pickup line? Do I, you know what I'm saying? Do I just say, because I done heard women say like, don't just hit me in my DMs and say hello. That's weird. So I was like,
That is weird.
I don't know how. Because how am I supposed to do
Hey, yeah, I agree with you, bro.
So
I don't think it's weird.
If somebody DM me and just say hello, what?
I feel like be creative, but I also put stuff on my profile to like. So on Hinge, it's like three things we can talk about. It's literally Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, Marvel. And I've had a lot of people literally, it's a lot of people like this one guy, he slid in and he was like, Wingardium Leviosa, I'm levitating into your DMs. And I was like, you know what?
That's tough.
I don't even want to talk to you, but like we could be friends because of that. Like I just be creative. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to, if you just say hello, I'm probably not going to say anything back.
That's fair. I mean, saying hello is a little dry. I do admit. But at the same time, sometimes that's all you got to, like, Tinder, sometimes it's all you get is pictures. To answer the question, I'm not on no dating apps. I haven't been on any dating apps and I'm pushing like 2 years. I ain't been on no dating apps. Used to be on Tinder.
Do you feel like you were trying to find something for real on Tinder?
Oh, definitely not on Tinder. What he said, he laid it out perfect. Like, if you at least as a man, you know what you getting on Tinder. Yeah. And I think the option quality is definitely significantly lower on Tinder than it is on Hinge. Like y'all asked what the best dating app is, at least from a male's perspective, like Hinge for sure. Like I have some people that I'm cool with and probably follow from Hinge, but like it never developed into anything. But like I done met some cool people off of Hinge. Hinge is definitely more user friendly in the sense of like, if you can't think of anything to think of, you probably shouldn't even swipe on that person. You know what I'm saying?
Actually, Hinge helped me get my kind of like my targeting strategy together. Because I was like, all right, I need to play to my strengths. Right? I'm an in-person kind of guy. So I would go on Tinder and put, how long should I wait until I ask you out? And I would just get DMs and saying, don't wait, this, that. And I'm like, cool, say less. So it worked. And I took that same approach in the real world, and that's how I met my current girlfriend now. I just pulled up on her type. So
take control. I love that. Hey, what's up? What's your name?
But don't be aggressive.
Don't be aggressive, but like coming up and showing interest in like, hey, what's your name?
Just be regular.
Good. Let's talk about it.
Just be regular. Just be yourself. I mean, if you're naturally weird, then I mean, but like,
I feel like that was a dig towards me.
No, I mean, no shade. But if you took it that way, then but I just feel like just be yourself. Like the more, like as girls, like we can tell when y'all are like being awkward or just like trying too hard. Well, at least I can. Before like I got in a relationship, I would say I could tell when you're trying to like do the most, and it just doesn't really appeal to me. Like you would have been more likely to get my number or my attention if you just like approach me regular, just like a regular person. Because I mean that's what I am. I'm regular, and yeah, you're trying to like get my number or get to know me, whatever. But you don't have to be weird about it because it's like, why?
I think intention helps that.
Yeah.
Like if you go on a date and you know why you dating, I feel like it makes the process 10 times easier.
I would agree.
That's true.
I would definitely agree for sure. So when it comes to intent and everything and just like dating in general, what are some of y'all's personal ideals that you could say have changed over time since you've been dating or like conversing with the opposite sex? So like say maybe in the beginning you may have thought one way before you started dating or in your early dating stages, but now as you've like matured and evolved, like what's some things that you've like taken away or you think has changed since you've been interacting with people of the opposite sex?
Hey guys. Oh. Or who's gonna say?
All right, cool. So I think with me, just with conversing with like guy friends like you or like our friend John, we talk a lot. And I think one thing that I was told, and it kind of hurt my feelings at first, but I was like, you know, it makes sense. And this guy told me, he was like, you put a lot of expectation on men, and I do, and it kind of made me have to like sit back and be like, okay, some of the things that I expect from men, especially in our age group, are very like unrealistic because there's things that I don't even have a handle on, and I think, you know, we kind of, both as men and women, our expectations and our guard, you know, it goes up and it gets thicker and the wall gets thicker the more that we're traumatized or hurt. But I think the main thing that I have learned is like, they're human beings too. Yeah. And like, and when we were all having that conversation the other night, it was like, I had to remember too, like, yes, we're emotional creatures, but like men aren't as emotional as we are, but they still have their own emotions and they process it differently than we do. And that's one thing that I've noticed in my past few relationships. Like, we want to talk about it now. Okay, what's the problem? Let's talk. What's going on? Yeah. And I noticed with men, even with my guy friends, sometimes they have to kind of like sit back and process it. and then talk about it. So that's one thing, like, I have learned, like, let me just have patience.
Yeah.
Because I'm very impatient. Especially when it comes to dating. It's like, all right, what are we doing? Like, let's go. Yeah. And I've had to, like, slow down and, like, kind of, okay, chill. You know what I mean? So.
That's
good
one.
Yeah.
Good one.
Love that.
Good one.
For real.
Yeah. I could say for me, I feel like growing up, like, my mom, and not even my mom, but like friends, you know, they'd be like, oh, you know, we don't need men. You don't need a guy. You don't need men. But I feel like as I'm getting older, I feel like we honestly do need each other. Like men need women, women need men, you know? And the best way I like to look at it is like, you know, guys, y'all can build the home. Right? Y'all can build a house, but women make it a home. But both sides are equally important.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I can't make a home if there's not one there.
Yeah.
Right? And you can build one, but like it's not gonna have the same effect if a woman doesn't come in and make a, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like as I'm getting older, I'm starting to learn, like, it's like, okay, you know, we have such a like fuck niggas mentality, fuck niggas. You ain't gonna get nowhere with that mentality. Like if you really want to attract your partner,
Like
having around
man,
like having that mentality, like, ooh, niggas ain't shit. And it's so easy to go to that route. It's so easy, right? But I feel like just switching my perspective and like, okay, like we really do need each other.
Yeah.
You know? Now, I'm cool without a man. I don't need y'all, right? But like, I feel like we all bring something to the table, you know? And I feel like when you have like a healthy unison, like you really can move forward in life.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's about like respecting each other's roles too. Like just piggybacking off of what you said, we do need each other.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes like I've met guys who are like, she just need to clean up, cook me dinner, and have my kids, and it's like, no, she needs to do more than that. And we talked about this in the last episode.
Yeah.
Women are wise. Women, we have a lot. They call it women's intuition for a reason.
Yeah.
You go to, I mean, even if you go back into the olden days, men would always go to their wife or wives for what? Counsel.
Yeah.
So it's like, and just like you said, I can make it a home, but without the house, I can't make anything a home.
Right.
It's like we need each other.
Yeah.
And like we said in the last episode, the man is the head, but the woman is the neck.
Yeah.
Without the head, you can't see. Without the neck, you can't navigate. So it's like, we need each other.
We need each other.
We definitely need each other. And even if you're not trying to be in a relationship, just harboring that niggas ain't shit, fuck that, it's just bad for your spirit.
Right.
Yeah.
Like even if you're not trying to date, like don't even harbor that anger inside. And it's easier said than done because like trauma. Right. But it's like, it's not good for you. It's not good for your soul.
It's not good for the people that you're gonna attract into your life.
Yeah.
So
dating, dads, brothers, whoever. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. And I think to tie into that, something that kind of clicked for me, it's like assuming what men need and what men want instead of just asking.
We make things so complicated.
It's like instead of just asking them sometimes. So like I used to hear, or like, you know, when you see movies or TV shows and you see like the fairy tale life and like, you know, like women getting flowers or like this and that, all these nice gestures or whatever. And I've heard women say before like, oh, that's unrealistic. Like you're not going to find a man like who like does all that stuff like romance and everything. And it's like, no, men are romantic. Men are definitely romantic
for the
right,
right,
for the right
one.
woman, like for the right person for sure. Because it's like he may not, the for you or with you might be silent as hell, but there's definitely like men out there for sure that who are gonna like pay attention to detail. They're gonna buy you flowers. They're gonna be like, oh, you had a long day, bet. Oh, I know this is your favorite type of candy. You don't have to ask for it. I bought you this. Like it's the little things. Like romance doesn't have to always be like this over the top. Oh, I'm flying you out. Oh, I'm buying you this Chanel bag. I'm doing this, whatever. But it's like it's the little things that I feel like, you know, we tend to like, some women tend to overlook and not like pay attention. Like, okay, these small gestures are special too. Because then it's like, if they don't do them anymore, then you start to think to yourself like, okay, like, is he paying attention to me? Does
like, what
he know?
happened?
Like, like, where did that go? And it's, I mean, vice versa. It's the same thing. Like, the same way your man, like, treats you or whatever, or does little things, like, men like to be surprised too.
Yes.
Like they definitely like to be like catered to and all that stuff. So it's not just like, don't just assume like, okay, this is what men want. Like if you have men around you, like Kelsey said, whether you're trying to be in a relationship or not, just ask them. Just pick their brains. Be like, okay, what do you like? What would you like? What would be the perfect date like in your eyes if a woman were to take you out? What would you like from her? What would this be? What do you want to hear us talk about? What do you want to do? And it's like, I feel like since people focus on men always being the providers, they don't really ask, like...
They're not just providers; they're people.
Yeah, and it's like we forget.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
I think for me, personally, like the biggest thing I've learned and grown about over the years is like I can't expect me out of somebody else, or like I can't even predict what somebody else would like. Like kind of how you were saying, like you gotta really get to know a person.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is ask, you know. Or even how you were saying, like I'm kind of like you. Like if something happens, I want to talk about it right then. But I have to realize and understand, like everybody's not like that. So whether it be like communication or affection, like I'm affectionate. I used to think like naturally women were just affectionate, but that's not the case. You know, that's not the case. So whether it be affection, communication, or anything in that realm, like just understanding like how I view the world is probably vastly different how the next person or the next woman views the world. So just trying to take that into account and understanding somebody and accepting somebody for who they are is probably like the biggest place of growth like I've had over my dating years.
That's good.
Yeah. I've learned that a lot of us are broken. And
Jesus.
Felt that.
And I think the hardest part about, there's a lot of stuff that's hard about dating. Like, us being broken just makes it complex, but we all treat it really simple. I saw someone that looked good, we tried this, and it just didn't work out, and blah, blah, blah. And then you have two sides of a whole relationship where one person was like, oh yeah, she was tripping. She was wilding. It wasn't me. But on her end, he was like, he never did this for me. It was this, and blah, blah, blah. And I think a lot of the times, like, because we don't have a good definition of dating, and it don't got to be the same for everybody, but I think everyone should have something for themselves because it helps with the intention. It's like, well, this is what I see dating as. So this is how I approach dating. And when you find someone who has that same kind of definition and that same kind of intention, you guys make something great. But I also think, you know, the broken part, it's easy to point out, I see your cracks. I see why you messed up. This is why you can't get a man. It's all this extra stuff, right? But then I think the hard part is in turning that mirror on yourself. Right? Because I think y'all know what it's like to be with a guy who wasn't shit, and then the next person he just
different.
He different.
Oh my God.
He a whole new nigga, right?
I don't know how that feels yet.
Right. So it's like
We'll get there.
a lot.
Everything.
I think a lot of us are like, a lot of us know we was fucked up, right? But just can't get right, right?
Yeah.
But then after we get out of it, then it's like, all right, let me be better this next round. Let me be focused a little bit more. And it sucks, but sometimes, and it both ways, men or women, whatever, sometimes that relationship that could have been something great has to be the reflection, like, damn, I was fucked up. Let me fix myself, da-da-da-da. But for some people, that don't happen. Like, I feel like when you see the casual statistical breakup issues, niggas ain't shit, this, that, and the third. And it's like, but you keep dating the same kind of niggas. Or you keep dating the same kind of girls. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, you broken. And there's nothing wrong with that. We all broken.
Yeah.
And I think that, and when I mean it, the complex part is because even if you go in to fix yourself, right, and your partner has put on the time to fix herself or themselves, and then y'all form a union together, now you got to deal with all of the broken people that surround your relationship. Family members, friendships, jobs, all this other stuff. Like, I'm constantly telling my girl, I'm like, hey, look, like, we need to think about the little interjections from our family and friends that seem playful, but that's coming in between our potential union. Where it's like, a prime example is like, let me call this person and say, hey, I want us all to do this and blah, 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 but you don't confirm it with your partner, right? So it's like, we need to make decisions as a unit. And it's little things like that you got to use to protect your relationship and then ultimately your marriage. It could be little things where it's like, you know, a good example, my mom did this. She was like, she was like, baby, you want something to drink? And I was like, sure, right? So she got me some water. And I'm like, you're not going to offer my wife none, right? But that was just me being me. But she was actually, I'll offer her some of her first. You got it second. I'm like, all right, my bad.
Ooh, period.
But I had to make the, you know what I'm saying? I had to be clear. But it does two things, right? It sets the boundary with the people that are outside of my marriage. Like, you don't come to me and expect not to come to my partner. And it also tells my partner, it's you and me. This may be my mother. This may be my father. This may be my childhood friend. But fuck them at the end of the day. Because this is about you and me. And I think that's the hard part about dating. Because... and that comes with intention, because you can't go into dating thinking like, at least for me anyway, you can't go in and saying like, I want to see what happens. Let's see if it works out.
Yeah.
Fuck all that. Who got time to waste like that? You know what I'm saying? I think niggas need to know what they want. Niggas need to say, all right, cool. Then that's what I'm doing. That's where we at, and let's go for it. And if you don't know what you want, that's fine. But at the same time, don't approach no person not knowing what you want. And this person is like, I want this, 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 and that. And you're like, I guess I can hang around and see what happened. It's cool, bro. Like, there's plenty of people in the world, plenty of women, plenty of men. There's plenty of people who just want to have fun and have a good time. Go do that, right? But fix yourself, put your pieces back together, and once you finally reestablish, like, damn, all right, cool, this is what I want to do, this is what I'm after, so, and then go. But that also means, like we said earlier, age don't mean nothing. Mm-hmm. 50-year-old niggas who ain't got it together.
Yeah.
45.
Absolutely.
There's tons of, there's older women who 60 years old, single. And been single their whole life. You know what I'm saying? It's effort. It's a lot of work. I think it's a lot we don't want to put in.
Yeah, and it's important that you said boundaries, like setting boundaries like within your relationship and with the people that are, like you said, around your relationship. That's a really big part, because like if you don't have like a fence built around, and it's like you're vulnerable, you're open, like your relationship, the people are just coming into play, like all that stuff, like boundaries in any type of relationship, not just romantic relationships, but friendships and stuff as well. Like if a friend calls you and it's like just starts venting, you could literally just be like, I don't have the mental capacity today. Same thing that you could do with your partner. If they have something to get off their chest, like, babe, I really want to hear you right now, but like,
just give me a minute.
I just need a minute. Like, you have to make sure that that communication is clear. Those boundaries that are set are very clear and like definitive on both ends. Because if not, then lines are gonna get crossed, and it's not just gonna be like, it's us, it's me and you. It's gonna be like, it's us, but we fighting everybody else, and it's really just not gonna be just y'all. Like the boundaries are gonna not be as established as they should be. So I think it's really important that you mention like having those boundaries set, especially if you're like dating with intent, which you should be. But you know.
Period.
No, that was good. I was sitting here like,
No, really, that was the
Fucking word.
I forgot I had to turn. So I would say one of my things is, so I feel like in the past with dealing with certain people, like I've kind of like found myself like so engulfed in, you know, wanting to make it work with somebody, and like if we, you know, come to like a roadblock or like an issue that's going on, and I'm finding myself like over explaining myself and like feeling like I'm having to, you know, like make things right kind of one-sidedly. And then the other person is just kind of like adamant about not seeing where I'm coming from, to where it kind of comes like a gaslighting type thing, but I'm still like, oh, but I mean this, I didn't mean that, I didn't mean this. So I'm kind of like trying to
convey
like,
it in a way they understand.
Yeah, type of thing, but then they're still like adamant on, you know, not seeing where you're coming from type of thing. So now I'm just kind of like trying to be mindful of like removing myself from those kind of situations when I feel like it's getting to that, because I feel like that's been an issue with me for a long time, just like, you know, feeling like I got to be the one to make it up to somebody, when a lot of time it's not even me causing the issue type of thing, if that makes sense. Yeah. And then another thing is, what was I gonna say? I lost it. But yeah, that's my thing. I lost it. I just had it too. It's okay. We can move on.
That was good though.
I was trying to give you a second. I was like, maybe it'll come back.
Maybe
I'm like, I should have wrote it down on my damn paper. It's okay.
No, that's good. I feel like the points that everybody mentioned, they're all like valuable things that we could all take away, you know, from each other and our experiences. And sometimes things happen, and it kind of makes you want to just give up. Just give up altogether. So have you guys ever felt like you were at a place where you found yourself giving up on love or giving up on the idea of love? And if so, like, what experience or what moment made you come to that conclusion? And why did you choose to not give up? If you're still, I mean, hopeful that you know, are going to find love, or you were in love, like, what made you keep going?
I was going to say, I actually want the people in relationships to answer first, because this is kind of something that I was thinking about. Like, what's the difference between, like Sage was saying, like, okay, actually fighting for something because it's worth it, and being like, okay, maybe we're just not meant to be together. Like, how do you guys differentiate those two things?
Prayer. No, seriously, please answer.
I'm listening. I'm opening.
Help.
Because y'all are coming up to the twos. Both of y'all been in relationships for over 2 years, or almost 2 years, right? So, you know.
Okay, no pressure, right?
No pressure, but pressure.
Okay, so I would say, for me, right, my last situationship, it wasn't even a relationship. It was very, it had traumatic moments, to say the least. And it really made me want to give up, not just on love, but on myself. Like, there was times when I was literally just like asking God, like, why me? Like, why did this happen to me? Or like, what did I do to deserve to be put in a situation like this? And then after a while, I was depressed and everything, and like went through it for a minute. And then, like I said, even though I was laughing and saying prayer, no, literally prayer, like I was praying to God for like clarity and everything. And I feel like instead of saying to myself like, why me? Like, or like, why is this happening to me? I had to shift my perspective and say, okay, what is this teaching me? And it was a hard like lesson, everything that happened, but once I figured out like what it was teaching me and where I could take my story, like how I could use my story for like the good and like translate it into something positive, then I felt like it got me to a better place emotionally. So once I was at a better place emotionally and I felt like I could open up to somebody else that I was involved with, I feel like that was the first step. Like, I was, honest about, like, my past with, like, my current partner. And I just, like, let him know, like, everything that occurred. And he didn't judge me for it. Like, he didn't judge me for it. He didn't make me feel like I was the issue or, like, things happened to me because of something that I did. So the fact that I feel like he was very, like, open, receptive, that was kind of, like, that was very comforting. So that was the first thing. And then I feel like it doesn't do us any good as people to not constantly move in love, like, throughout life. So it's like, no matter what happens to you, no matter how much life will beat you down and, like, things will happen, it's like, I just feel like we're all created, and no matter what our individual purposes are, I feel like we are all put on this planet to love and to love each other, whether it's, like, romantic relationships, whether it's, like, friendships, whatever the case is. I just feel like we're just all meant to just move in love. So I never, like, I wanted to give up on the idea of love, and there was times when I thought I would not find, like, somebody who would love me because of stuff that, like, I went through. But the fact that I had somebody, after I told them, like, my story and everything, he was like, hey, like, it's cool, like, you know, like, we could, like, talk about it, we could work through it, whatever. That kind of showed me, like, okay, there's no need to give up on love, because there's people out there who want to love you. There's people out there who want to, like, love on you and everything. And so I feel like just going through, like, that whole process and prayer and healing, and it's like healing is a constant journey, so I feel like I'm still healing, and I know certain parts of my past relationship have, like, trickled into my current relationship. But when you're with somebody, it's a team effort. So like, there'll be times when, like, even if we don't see eye to eye, he's like, I want to make it work with you, you know, like, I could find another girl, whatever, this, that, but I'm still gonna argue with somebody else. I'm still gonna, like, go through it with somebody else, but I want to do this with you. So like, we gotta work together to figure out a system to make this shit work. And so I just feel like the constant, like, effort and, like, trying, even when it gets hard, even when it gets difficult sometimes, because everything is not, like, relationships are a lot of work, like, and I say that in the sense of you have to constantly, like, commit yourself over and over again and, like, constantly try. But if you have somebody who's on that same playing field as you as far as, like, values and, like, what y'all want for the future, and y'all both put in the work, and I mean, I constantly just still ask God for guidance and be like, okay, Lord, like, show me, like, if he is, like, meant to be with me, you know, if we are meant to be together, like, forever and ever and ever and ever, then, like, show me that. And if not, then show me, like, another way as well. So just constant work within yourself, with your partner, and prayer. That's the honest to God truth. My story. My story.
Period.
Sorry it was long, but yeah.
That was amazing.
All right, other cuffed person.
I don't know if I don't want to say I've ever given up on love. I've had problems with love because I had to learn how to love. And I've dated people who loved me more than I've loved them, which in the long run I feel like can pervert your love, your sense of love, because I wasn't always the good guy. I've had an experience where I was the ain't shit nigga. And I learned love from that relationship, because then that same person also got their get back with me. So I got to be like, all right, cool. So I got to learn a lesson in love from that perspective. But then I had the time to think about it, like, all right, what are we doing? Is this love? How is this supposed to cook and whatnot? So I feel like I went on a journey of trying to figure out, what the hell does this love thing even mean, right? I think one of the benefits of, coming from a single parent household, especially a woman's household, was I spent a lot of time with women, moms, aunts, grandmas, like a lot, too much time. And I kind of always had this idea, like, all right, cool. I have an understanding of what women want. I know what my mom wants. You know what I'm saying? I was the kind of kid that used to watch Lifetime with my mom and all this other stuff. I'm like, all right, I see the love movies. I'm like, all right, this is what y'all want. Cool. But then there was also the reconciliation that I don't want to give that. I don't want to be this all the time, or I don't want to be that all the time. And then, so then I spent a phase where it was like, let me do the opposite, right? But it didn't feel right. So I'm like, all right, cool. I want to be a hoe because all my niggas is hoes and they having fun, but I'm trying to be a hoe. It's like, right. So I'm trying to be a hoe, but every time I try to be a hoe, I keep whining and dining. I keep making this girl like me, and now I'm in a relationship. I'm supposed to be in the streets. How I got another girlfriend? And so I think I spent so much time playing that game that I got to the point where I was like, you know what? I like my niggas, but fuck them niggas. I know what works for me. I like having a relationship, right? And so from learning all this stuff about how to love and whatnot, after, all right, cool, I want to be in relationships, and I started learning more. Like, okay, this is how I show up. This is how I should expect a woman to show up in my life. And I'm progressively doing this. But then as we get back to this whole Atlanta dating situation, it's kind of like I'm trying to show up in a woman's life as a husband, and she's kind of like, oh, this is great, but I don't know how to show up as a wife, or I don't want to because I'm not ready yet. And so that kind of creates this idea of like, do I want to give up on love? Do I want to stop? But I wouldn't say, no, I was giving up. But it was more like, let me just take a step back from dating. Because I even got to a point where I was, you know how we are. I was bargaining with God. I'm like, God, the girl that I did dirty back in my past, send me someone like her. I promise I'll be better. He sent her. He sent her. And when she came, I was like, you getting on my nerves. Nah, maybe this wasn't right. Maybe I had a misunderstanding about what the last one was. So I was like, all right, God, give me this one. He sent her. She came with a whole host of her other problems. And I was like, damn. Then I finally got to the point, I was like, you know what, God? I'm going to define dating for myself. I'm going to keep it casual. I'm going to do this, but I'm going to go on a lot of dates. I'm going to have a good time. It don't got to be sexual or anything like that, but I'm going to have a good time. The ball is in your court. I don't care no more. Do what you will. It's on, because I keep trying and I keep messing up. So it's on you. And literally, I shit you not, like a week later, I met my girlfriend. And then my girlfriend currently has given me the lesson that I've been looking for my entire life, right? And it was clear as day. The lesson is clear to me now is that things that work. It's just that plain and simple. And so now I look at it like, if you're in a relationship and it's like, oh, it's this thing, it's that thing. I look at it like a car. Is a car a good car if it breaks down every other week? It's not. Cars run, but they do need work. They do need maintenance. You know what I'm saying? You got to take it in, get your oil changed. You can literally keep a car for 30, 40 years, right? But you have to keep putting in the work and keep maintaining it. So that's how I look at it. But a lot of us get into relationships, think it's great, and we break down, and we're all like, oh, this is supposed to happen. Cool, cars break down, but then you get it fixed. I don't put $1,100 to get the alternator changed or whatever. That's probably too much. And then next week, radiator blow. It's like, all right, cool, whatever, fix it. The next thing, this blow. And a lot of us are literally conditioned to believe that this is just how relationships are. We've seen our parents fight. Oh, this is what it's supposed to be like. We're supposed to argue. This is what a relationship is. But my girlfriend literally taught me, us being together, like, oh no, this shit's supposed to just work. Yes, we have small disagreements. But disagreements mean we just need to realign to find a clear understanding that we both agree on. But that's it. But once we do that, then we're fine. But if we arguing about this thing and then that thing and we fighting and then I'm walking out the house and you coming outside and this, that, and the third and you calling my phone, you calling my mom and doing, no, that's a bad vehicle and you should not be in that shit. You need to pawn that motherfucker and give it away and get you a new one. So that's what I've learned just through dating.
Nice. That was a beautiful analogy.
I like the car analogy.
Beautiful.
No, that was good. That was good.
It kind of made me remember, I'm not going to say my answer, but it kind of made me think of, because like, you know, people talk about when they're approaching the 2-year mark, it's like the terrible twos, right? And when you think about a child and when they're going through their terrible twos, why do we call them terrible? Because they don't know, right? They don't know right from wrong. You literally have to teach them all the time, like, no, don't do that, and that's why it seems terrible, because they literally don't know. Once they figure it out, moving forward, they're gonna be like, oh, I know I'm not supposed to touch that, right? But we think of it as the terrible twos because it's like, I have to tell you every 2 minutes not to do this, and it's like, I don't know. But once, like you said, once you come to a like agreement with your partner, once they figure it out, they know moving forward, okay, this is what I don't need to do, this is what I need to do. But it's just hard because y'all are going through that rough patch where it's like, y'all don't know what works for y'all right now. Y'all got to figure it out. But once y'all figure it out, your car gonna run.
Straight like that.
You know? That's just my 2 cents. But
for sure.
He said something I want to tap into. He was talking about giving it to God. Like, that's major. That's major. You already know how I be, Gabby. Like, I'm very tapped into my faith. But to simply answer the question, yeah, of course I didn't thought about giving up on love. Of course I didn't told myself, yeah, I'm over that shit. You know what I'm saying? But my long-winded answer, like, yeah, it's a lot of parallels between your story and I'm still single, but between your story and my story. You see what everybody else is doing, you be like, these niggas ain't doing right by these women, like, and they seem to be thriving. Like, I'm gonna do the same thing, but the whole time, like, real talk, like, that's just not in my character. I done tried to be the bad guy, but like, I really can't. Like, I just can't. I mean, and that's not to say, like, I probably have had given a woman a bad dating experience. Like, I'm sure I have. But, like, to intentionally do that, that's just not who I am. Like, I can't intentionally be like, yeah, I'm finna sell a girl a dream. And next thing you know, like, not follow through on my word. Like, that's not my thing. So, yeah, I done been there, like, you know, trying to find my way, figure out who I am in the dating world and everything. And then it comes down to, like, when I do want to be serious, you know what I'm saying? It just seems to always be some BS, like the girl's not ready, or she had a traumatizing past, or like I've even been, this is crazy, I've even been told, like a girl has straight up told me to my face, like, you're too good of a guy for me. Like, I'm not ready for what you can give me, or I'm not ready for the type of guy you are. And literally, I'm sitting there like,
I've said that
this is crazy. Like, how can you sit here in my face and tell me you're the type of guy I want, but I'm not ready to date you? I do think, looking back, that is kind of self-aware. That's very definitely self-aware, definitely real. Yeah. I do appreciate that looking back. But in the moment, like, imagine hearing that, like, like, you're everything I want.
You're perfect.
But like, you're perfect, but like, not for me. Like, that's crazy to me, especially in that moment. Like, looking back, I definitely agree. Like, she kept it real, she kept it a buck. I appreciate that. Probably dodged the bullet, you know what I'm saying? Once you deal with the same things over and over again, you kind of like, that's your comfort zone essentially. You know what I'm saying? So when somebody comes outside of your comfort zone, you almost want to paint them as the bad guy, but the whole time you just not used to that. So when you be like, dang, you really was treating me right, but like, you do, like we've been talking about the whole time, like, you gotta have some healing within yourself before you get ready to take on somebody who is giving you something so different than what you used to. And so, like, once I got ready to date for real, that's what I learned. Like, a lot of women just, I really hate, like, niggas ruin it for the good niggas, and I hate how they do my good friends who are women. You know what I'm saying? Like, how they say, like, one bad apple spoils the whole bunch. Like, I'm the one good apple in the whole bad bunch. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I feel, at least. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of single niggas should feel that way. You know what I'm saying? If you really standing on business and about on your shit. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, so then it gets to a point where you done heard everything. Like, okay, you too good for me. I'm not ready yet. Whatever the case. Or you just have bad experiences. And it's like, okay, I'm over this. Like, God, clearly you don't want me to date. But what I found myself doing a lot of times, I say, God, it's in your hands. And then God would give me something good, right? But then guess what I do? God, give me that back. and I'm gonna go do it my way. You know what I'm saying? Versus like letting God do it His way. I'm taking it right back out of His hands, and I really had to step back and look and be like, yo, I keep failing because I keep doing the same things. I keep asking God to bless me with something. God, my dating life is in your hands. Okay, great. Then something good come along, and I stopped consulting God. I stopped asking God what I should do. I just started moving. Yeah. And God is like, I didn't tell you to do that. I didn't ask you to do that. I didn't need you to do that. Like, I had it under control. But, of course, God is going to let us learn.
Yeah.
So now, like, where I'm at right now, like, God, it's in your hands. And, like, I'm dating currently, you know what I'm saying, just enjoying life. I'm dating, so God is in your hands. And then things start happening. But this time I said, it's a new year, you know what I'm saying? Everybody got New Year's resolutions, you feel me? It's a new year. I said, God, look, when you give me something good this time, I'm not taking out your hands. Like, I'm sitting back, I'm chilling in my eyes, you know what I'm saying? Like, as the man, it's kind of hard to find a balance because we are the men, we are the people who make the machine, who drive the car, you know what I'm saying? Like, things don't happen unless we make it happen. So it's hard to find that balance. Like, how can I make something happen, but also still leave it to God? But, like, I feel like I found that balance at the moment. I mean, we'll see what happens, but definitely have thought about giving up. You know what I'm saying? Gotta find that balance. Let God do His thing, but just follow His lead. You know what I'm saying?
I love that you said, like, when you were like, you know, as the man, you drive the car, but that's why it's so important, and that's why He keeps sifting through people, so He makes sure that your co-pilot can back you up.
Exactly.
You feel me?
Exactly.
So I love that you use it, and I love that you use the analogy of the car. I ain't gonna catch a lot of lines. I've been sitting over here listening to y'all talk like, I'm worried, but you feel me? But no, like everybody like hit really great points, and I think like I am in that stage right now where I'm like, I don't even think I can do it anymore. Like I don't know if I got another one in me. Not gonna cap to you. Like, I think with the relationship that I was in, but even if I look at my dating history, one thing that I have noticed, I know who I am. I know when I love hard. I'm gonna stand by you. I'm gonna try to make it work, but kind of piggybacking off of what Sage and Queso said is like, am I going through relationship problems for a better outcome, or am I dragging it? Because even in my last relationship, dragged it. I could have left. I should have left. We've had this conversation. And I was like, because you told me 2 years ago with my ex, why don't you just leave?
Yeah, because I feel like as women, we cling to potential a lot.
Real bad.
Like
real bad. Like
real
bad. I saw who he could have been,
and that's the problem.
And I should have taken him who he is. And he wasn't like, as far as our values go, because when you mentioned like you and Sam, y'all have the same values. That doesn't always mean anything. Yeah. Because he's very ambitious. I'm very ambitious. We have the same values. We have the same faith, but we do not work together at all. Yeah. And like, I think it's crazy how you were saying how, like, you know, God is in your hands. Okay, I got my person. I'm doing it how I want to do it. But literally, even as you were talking, God was telling me, like, listen to him because you're not listening to me. Yeah. And I was like, ooh.
It's hard.
You was rebuking me as you was speaking. I
said, you hear this? He said, listen, Kelsey.
It's there. I feel you. So I'm not even going to cap because I was talking to one of my friends earlier today and I was like, I think I'm going to delete Hinge. And she was like, why? And I was like, why am I on it?
Yeah.
And I'm like, why am I on it? And she was like, I mean, but you match with people I said I had, but I don't even have the desire right now.
Yeah.
I don't even have the desire. I haven't really been alone for real.
Follow your heart.
Like, you know what I mean?
Follow your heart.
And when I tell you, like, matched with this dude, the Harry Potter guy. And I was like, oh my God, you're so cool. But even then I was like, he would be a great friend.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not even on the plane of I want to date. If a guy asked me on a date tomorrow, I would probably tell him
you just don't have it in you.
I can't.
And
like,
that's okay.
I am so emotionally drained from like my last 3 relationships. And I've noticed like you are what you attract. And I always attract broken men. And I'm always the one like I can fix him.
It ain't your job.
It's not your job.
I always want to fix broken people, and I think I've stopped doing that in my friendships, but not in my relationships. And it's like, I don't try to attract those people, but I do. And it's always like we talked about in the friendship episode, it's always like I care so much in the beginning, like, oh, I can help you, I'll take you here, da 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 da. And then when it's with men, it's like I noticed even in my last relationship, you know how many red flags I saw and I ignored?
You'd be like, it's pink.
It's pink. It's pink. It's like, a little dingy red. It may be burgundy. I don't fucking know. Yeah. But it's like, part of me, and part of the reason why I didn't let y'all know certain things until after is because I felt like an idiot. Because I was like, bro, I knew. And even when we would talk, I was like, I can't tell them everything because I'm going to sound stupid. Because I would deadass, like, it would be moments where he would tell me, like, this is who I am. And I'm like, it's okay. We can work through it. Who the fuck we can't. And it's
You're like that with friends too.
Yeah. And it's like, I guess that's just my spirit and that's who I attract. But at the same time, it's like I be trying to lay down boundaries. And then when I lay down boundaries, oh, you're mean as fuck. And it's like, that's why I told you earlier, it's like at this point in my life, I'll be mean.
Yeah.
Be mean.
You're a bitch. I'll be her.
That,
I'll be her. If that means that I'm protecting my peace, then I'll be her. But it's like, have I given up on love? I'm teetering. I ain't going to cap to y'all. Like, people be asking me, like, when you going to be ready to date again? Girl, I don't know.
Take your time.
And it's okay not to know.
Take your time.
And I think, like, I put myself on a clock because I'm turning 29 this year. We're turning 29 this year. And I'm like, all right, 30. All right, 35, it gets dangerous to have kids. All right, by the time you're 40, you still want to have a kid. That's real dangerous. I'm thinking about that.
Yeah.
Because I want babies, for sure. I want to be married. But I'm like, I guess because of like the amount of kids that I want, it's dwindling down. But I do want more than one child, and it's like I be thinking about stuff like that. Like, damn, okay, I need to find somebody else. But then I'm like, I really just don't. I'm not in the mental capacity to handle someone else's feelings right now. Like I am not.
Yeah.
So I was talking about that earlier. I was like, I think I'm gonna delete my Hinge account because every time I match with someone, it's like, damn, you're cute. That's it. Not because they're not good people, not because they don't have interesting things. Like, there's people I'm like, we could actually work, we could actually get along, but I just can't even give you the time. I'm not gonna waste your time because I dead ass can't. I just can't. And I don't know. I don't really know. I don't see another relationship in me right now. And that's maybe okay. I will eventually.
You will.
But I'm like, I am tired.
Just give yourself time.
It's still fresh.
So tired.
It's still
of,
fresh.
Healing everybody else, and it's
still
draining my spirit, y'all. Like,
this is a sign that you're supposed to literally just give yourself time and give yourself grace, because you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself to know. And sometimes it's okay to just not know. Yeah. Like, sometimes it's not for you to figure out.
That gives me anxiety.
Sometimes it's just not for you to figure out, and that's okay. So literally, like, you're in a season right now where it's like focus on Kelsey.
And I think what it is, and I'm gonna be real transparent with y'all, like, my mom is dating now, and I love that for her. She's so happy. Not to put all her business out there, but like, my mom has never been married. She's never been married. And I'm like, I love my mother, but I don't want that for me, and she doesn't even want that for me. And I'm like, okay.
Pressure.
Everybody around me is getting married. Everybody around me is having babies. You know how many friends I have with children? And I'm just like, you know, and I know y'all don't have kids, but I'm older than all of y'all. Yeah. And it's like, I know it's not by much, but it's like, I got 3 years on YouTube. I got 2 years on you. And it's like, damn, okay. I'm turning 29 this year. And I have friends who are 27, 26 with like 2 kids. One on the way, married. And I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing wrong?
But I think don't be hard on yourself. I've been in this. I've been single. This in the summer, I would be single for 5 years. Wow. To me, that's crazy. Like, to not have had a girlfriend in 5 years, it's only crazy because it's just like, who doesn't have a girlfriend between the age of 20 and 20? I'll be 26 in May, so who doesn't have a girlfriend between those ages? Like, that's crazy. But don't be too hard on yourself. I think, like Gabby said, you got to give yourself a little grace. Definitely just set your boundaries. Like, when you waste time with people you are trying to force it with, or you know it's not going to work, you cutting yourself off from the other people who might be trying to pursue you, and you not even looking at them. So if you set your boundaries, you know off rip, like, this not going to work. Like, and it's okay. If it's 2 weeks in and you like, I'm not interested, just let them know. Like, as a man, I respect when a woman can tell me. I've literally gotten a text one day that literally just said nothing else but I'm not interested anymore. And at the time, me and Sam were living together, and he was like, bro, you don't feel it? I said, no. He said, ask her why she said that. I said, honestly, Sam, I don't care.
Yeah.
She kept it a buck with me.
Right.
She didn't lead me on.
Yeah.
I said, really? It doesn't matter to me, because anything she say is not going to change the outcome of, like, she kept it up. So just keep it real with whoever you dating, and if it's not that, don't try to heal broken men also. I think as men, some things that men do is like, a girl say, I'm not ready to date. And a man would be like, I could show you. I could make you ready to date. That's just not how that works. Like, you cannot make anybody do nothing they don't want to do. When somebody show you they true colors, you believe them. Or when somebody tell you something, you believe them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Lesson learned.
Lesson
learned.
Got to.
I'm not doing that shit no more. I just need like 1 month long solo trip. I might
And do it.
like that. I've been thinking about that shit this year. Like when you went to Kenya, I was like,
just do it. It's the most like liberating thing.
like I just need to be by myself.
Ever. Like it teaches you a lot about yourself.
Because I'm always with like, love you guys. And I'm always with y'all.
And
I'm always with
you
my
just
family.
need time.
I'm always with. At the time in a relationship, it's like even when I'm at home, I'm not alone.
Yeah.
I have never been alone. I've
You
always
just
lived
need
with
that time.
roommates
Yeah.
or at home or been in a relationship, and I'm like, God dang, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
Without other people.
Yeah, that's
because
right.
even like when people talk about, oh, Kelsey, she's so this, she's such a great friend. I don't really hear a lot of people tell me how I'm great without mentioning what I do for them. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I'm like, ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I love that
But,
people think that I'm a great friend, but I'm like, ooh, okay, who are you without other people in your life?
Yeah.
Right.
So y'all might not see me in June. I don't know.
That's fine.
We'll see. I don't fucking know yet. But nah. I'm teetering. I'm not giving up. Because God is the only reason. God be like, all right, give up.
Yeah.
Like, I promise you. Give up. I'll be like, no, you know what? I heard you. I feel you. I'm going to heal myself for my Prince Charming.
Yeah, Kelsey, I feel like you're about to go through what I went through.
Yeah.
I've been telling y'all, I feel like I'm in this isolation season.
Yeah.
And that's still going on. Like, and I told you, I was like, I cleared my roster because I just was always someone that had someone. Like, I could always hit my phone and be like, oh, you know, I didn't want that. I didn't want that period because it's like, okay, I'm out here and I'm saying I want commitment from one person, but I'm not moving like that. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, you know what, let me clear my roster because like you said, I felt like I always had somebody. Do I know how to be alone? I didn't know. Because even when people be like, oh, are you talking about? I'm not really talking to someone. Deep down, I knew I had somebody that I could hit. I could hit someone's line and they'd be, you know, oh yeah, you know, you trying to go out, you trying to do.
Yeah.
I didn't want that. I was like, let me see what it's like to not have that. And to answer the question, like people, all of y'all have kind of said the same thing where it's like, you know, you want to give up on love, but you know it's not you. Yeah. And like I said, it's so easy, especially dating men in Atlanta. I'm working on not calling niggas. So, you know, I had to make a conscious effort. But, like, it's so easy dating men in Atlanta, like, to just be like, fuck y'all, fuck niggas, y'all ain't shit. But, like, that's not me, you know. And Chase, earlier, he was like, you know, don't let these men turn you bitter. I don't want to give a guy that much power ever because that's not me.
Yeah.
Y'all know who I am. Like, I am such a lover's girl. I like to call myself a hopeful, romantic. Like, and I see that there's good men out there. We have 2 right now on our podcast. Y'all are in great relationship, or, you know, Gabby's in a great relationship with a great man. Like, I see healthy and positive examples of love through my family members, through my friends. So I know good guys are out there. So it's like, I'm not about to sit here and let someone have so much power over me to the point where they, you know, have me in a toxic mindset because that's not me. Or they have me, like, not moving in love because that's not me. I don't want to ever give a guy that much power. So, you know, it's been times where I want to be like, fuck niggas, but at the same time, I'm like, no, my guy is out there. I'm going to go through this isolation phase. I'm going to work on myself, right? And I've learned so much about myself in this time period. I've been cooking more, right? I told myself, I was like, I feel like my husband coming. I feel like my husband coming. I got to stop cooking the same 8 recipes because I got to, you know what I'm saying? Let me get in the gym because I want to make sure that I'm healthy, you know, and that hopefully I find a partner that's into that same way. Let me get right with God because, you know, when I go into this relationship, I want my partner. So it's like, take this time for yourself. I've learned so much about myself and I feel like it's in preparation for what's to come. And I'm not mad at it. So I haven't given up on love. I've wanted to. I've thought about it, but I know to my core that's not me and I'm not about to give someone that much power to make me think otherwise.
So
I don't have the capacity to be in the streets.
you know,
I really tried. I tried, and every time I tried, I was like, "This shit is not working out the way that."
Come join me on the sidewalk.
Like these girls be talking about and I'll be like, "How the fuck are you doing that?"
Sidewalk is
it's nice over here.
I ain't gonna get too deep on y'all.
Get
But
deep.
you know, in the Bible, just look at all the times God tests people to see if they have faith in Him. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is an example. Like, when God told Peter to walk on the water, like, the second Peter took his eyes off of God, Peter started to drown.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of times I view certain situations that are not in my favor, like, God really just want to see, do I have faith that...
Are you going to curse me in this moment?
You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's really why I never was a real, like, I have no faith in this. Like, I always knew, I know I'm going to be married one day. I don't know when, I don't know what age, I don't know how, but God got my back because He know my desires, and I feel like that's what He wants for me. You know what I'm saying? So, like...
You're probably watching this.
Hey, maybe. But,
Hey, God.
but yeah, you know, like, just keep that in mind. Like, just make sure y'all keep that faith, like, strong. Like, don't ever doubt God. If that's what you want... There's a different Bible verses that speak about God honoring like the desires and wants of your heart. So like just
Jesus.
You know what I'm saying? Keep that in mind.
Hey, that boxia.
Thank you. I need to hear that.
Having church on a Friday. No, that was really good. I feel like everybody made some. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm about to say, did you?
my bad.
No, I did not.
I thought you did.
Have I ever found myself giving up on romantic love? I wouldn't say I've found myself giving up on love per se. I've definitely found myself giving up on the ability or my ability to choose the right person. I feel like I just have had so many different situations where I felt like I was, you know, analyzing the right things and looking at the person and being like, okay, I think that they might be the right person, and then shit goes left out of nowhere. So shit like that definitely made me kind of just step back and be like, okay, this is not something, like, my judgment is shit. So that's kind of what I would say I've started to give up on, but I've always kind of had the idea like, oh, love is something that I want, something that I feel like I'm going to have. I'm going to attract the right kind of person for me. So, you know, I have tried to, you know, just learn to give it to God, the higher power, and take it out of my hands, honestly. And it's hard.
Do you feel like you have good discernment?
I feel like I do. Shit. Duh. I feel like I usually do. Like, but people are so fucking conning. Like, people,
some of these people be actors.
People are actors. People are fucking
Oscar.
Just
They're
representative. Be representing. Like, yeah. But I feel like I do have decent discernment though. But shit, I've been tested. I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to figure that shit out.
It's hard.
But
It's
even
hard
when
as
you
hell.
have good discernment, you know the devil can appear as an angel of light. You can have good discernment, but it's always a power out there that can deceive you. So don't ever feel like I feel like I have good discernment, but shit, I don't know. Like you can have good discernment and still have someone who
Tested,
literally checks all your boxes. They've been sent to literally like as an attack, as warfare. So it's like don't ever question yourself. You just gotta stay prayed up.
No, and I have kind of realized that too. Like, some people really are like sent in to teach me something, but that shit be annoying. I'm like, fuck.
I'm tired of listening.
Send them in to stick around. Like, I'm not trying to learn a lesson from this person.
I am not trying to be your strongest shoulder anymore.
No more lessons.
Take me
No more lessons.
Blessed and
I've learned
favorite
enough.
But yeah.
Good talk.
Well, y'all made some really, really strong points for sure. I feel like I just feel like y'all made some really good points, and you know, like y'all got me thinking, like just in general, like, you know, about life overall. You'd be like, damn, this is real life. This is real life. Like you said, like, I don't know how else to
You have one
describe
of those
it.
like moments.
Like you just have a moment. You really just sit back and think, like, okay, like there's
I'm
other,
really
like,
going
there's
through
other
this.
people out there who like see the world like the same way that I do, or there's other people out there who have the same desires and stuff. Because sometimes you think you're like alone. Even if you're like in a current relationship and stuff, sometimes you just may think like, like, damn, like, am I the only one? And it's like, clearly not, because we're in a room full of people who think the same things, and it's a beautiful thing. So, good talk. These next two questions are for the guys only. So, the first one is for both of you, and then the second one is specifically for Alex. So, the first question is, did you grow up with a father figure, and based on that, how did it impact your dating life or views on women?
Which you actually kind of touched on a little bit, Zay, because I remember one of your answers, you said you grew up in a single parent household.
I had some men in my life, right? I had to cherry pick father figures. Me and my dad have a great relationship now. Yes, it impacts it because you don't know how to show up in a woman's life as a man if your father's not around. And when you're cherry picking, it's like, all right, he does this, he do that, he do this. It's helpful and it gets you somewhere, right? But I'm one half of my father. I can look at all these other men, right? But I got stuff I got to deal with that he sent to me. Like, I used to have severe anger issues. I used to be a hole maker in walls. Like, but then I took a year off of school. I spent a year with him. I'm like, oh, this nigga angry too. Oh, he do that too. Oh, I get that from you. So all these 7 bad traits I get from you, all these 20 good ones I get from you too. But these ones that I see are a problem I get from you. And now I get to see what it looks like at 40 years old. Let me go ahead and take care of that. You know what I'm saying? So growing up, before you even get to that realization, especially when you're just around women, they don't know what the hell going on. It's a lot of, he's just an angry child, is this or it's that and it's that. So it's like, I don't know if y'all ever heard the bar from J. Cole was like, I became a man by myself. My only father was time.
Of course.
Right?
J. Cole, fan to the T.
And that's real because it's like, you know what I'm saying? You may have men in your life, but it takes the person to have to go then grab the lessons from people that's not even giving it to you. You just got to be paying attention. And a lot of us ain't paying attention. And so I definitely think it impacted a lot of my beginning relationships, right? Because I've even had relationships that have fallen apart because of my mother, because I didn't have the discernment as a man to say, like, you can't get in between this. This don't got nothing to do with you. You know, I don't know, y'all probably heard a lot of guys who are like, oh, my mom always come first, and you know what I'm saying, I'm always going to take care of my moms and this. But that's not your job. You know what I'm saying? Like, she had her time. She was supposed to have a man who was supposed to do that. You as her son, that's not your position. You're not her husband. You're not her boyfriend. And we already know a lot of single mothers tend to date their sons. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I went through those things. And I had to man up and be like, damn, let me correct that. You know what I'm saying? Luckily, I was able to catch those lessons, but I had to learn them kind of the hard way. Failed relationships, fights about this, all types of anger issues and whatnot. But, you know, eventually I ended up figuring it out, but it took time. And I just think a lot of people, it kind of goes back to that whole broken thing. A lot of people, we don't even know we broken. That's the thing. Like, we all think we cool. We all think we good. Like, even on the conversations we're having right now, none of us have yet to say, like, yeah, it's not working out, I can't figure out love. Maybe I'm fucked up. It's always like, we all kind of just like, I be trying, but it's this, but I don't think it's me. That's normal, though. I think it's tough to turn the mirror back. So, like, growing up without a dad is, bro, it's either make or break. Like, it's either going to make you, it's going to break you. A lot of us, it breaks. Even y'all. Like, when y'all don't have fathers, y'all don't even know how to be loved. So imagine having to not have a dad as a man, go figure out how to show up in a woman's life as a man. She's never had a man in her life, so she don't even know how a man's supposed to show up in the first place. So she got to lean on the famous rapper girlfriends, the movies, the TV shows, and then you like, oh, I'm supposed to get this, that. You supposed to give up everything for me and this, that, and da-da-da-da. And niggas just like, hell you talking about? He don't know, like, you know, I'm supposed to take care of you. You know what I'm saying? You're mine. We're together. We're supposed to grow together. We're supposed to do all this stuff and have a union and strong and be under God's praise and grace and all this other stuff. And it's just, niggas is lost and broken and confused. So it's like, I was on that road for a long time. Luckily, I was able to figure it out. And I'm still figuring it out. Because even when even when I have conversations like, well, your dad wasn't in your life, and it's like, I'm not dead. I'm still living. He's in my life right now, and I'm still growing. I'm about to be 29 this year. I don't know everything. Even now that me and my dad have a good relationship, I'll literally be like, hey, Dad, where'd you fuck up in this? And he'll be like, if I were you, I would do this because I did this and it didn't work out for me. You know what I'm saying? So even, I'm not done growing. So I can say that my father wasn't in a portion of my life, but is still in my life and in important times in my life. Some of the best business decisions I've made in the last year have been because of my father. Because I've been able to say, hey, Dad, I'm thinking about this. No, son, don't do that because of this. You need to think about this. Or you need to think about this a couple of years from now. Right? If this is the goal you want, then you're in business with the wrong people. You need to be doing this. And I'm just like, all right, cool. And he's showing up in my life right where I need him to be. Yeah. You know? Because I was strong enough to make it this far without him. I didn't kill nobody. I didn't get killed myself. But at this point in my life as an adult, I can say I'm not strong enough to do it without my father. I need his guidance. Because he's literally 40 years worth of experience of bad mistakes. No offense to him, you know what I'm saying? But he's guiding me. Like, you know, don't go left. You need to go right. You know what I'm saying? So
that's real.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
that was great.
That's beautiful. I love that because how you're saying, like, well, he's in a portion of my life now. And we talked about this on, the episodes about our parents. He needed to grow too. And he would become what you needed him to be now.
Right.
Yeah. So that's beautiful.
Alex?
Yeah, my father is very present in my life.
We love Anthony.
Yeah, Antonio. Shout out Pops. You know. So I grew up with my dad. My parents are still together. My parents have been married for 32 years.
Oh, wow.
So
that's beautiful.
It's safe to say they definitely set the example on what love is, on so many things. Like, I could just name you a laundry list of the different type of examples they set, but having a father in your life is necessary for so many reasons beyond just love. Like, just teaching me how to be a man in general. I'd rather learn from nobody else than my father. So I don't take that for granted. I have many family members or whatever the case may be, friends who didn't have a father, so I definitely don't take that for granted. But to keep it on topic, I see how my dad treats my mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, I actually was just telling somebody the other day, like, it's to the point to where, like, I have a little brother, so it's 4 of us in the immediate family. So, like, if we go to a restaurant, my dad opened the door. If I or my brother walks through before my mom, dad literally stops everything. Hey, walk back out. You never walk through the door before a woman. Like, he taught me how to be a gentleman. Like, you open it, like, it's to the point, like, he won't open my mom's car door. He'll make us get it. Like, not in a disrespectful way. Like, he's teaching us how to be young gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? So, like, who I am today when it comes to dating is solely rests mostly on his shoulders. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't walk through the door before women. I will open the door for a woman. I'll open the car door. You know what I'm saying? Like, anything of that nature. Like, he taught me who I want to be as a man when I date and who I don't want to be as a man when I date. You know what I'm saying? Like, my parents definitely kept arguments and serious discussions away from me and my brother, especially as children. But, like, of course things happen, disagreements in the car or whatever. Like, so there's certain things, like, I definitely was, okay, I probably don't want to do this with my wife or whatever, not to get too specific. But he just taught me just paying attention, like, kids really mimic their surroundings. Like, you are a product of your environment. So just seeing how he treated my mom, like, just, like, made her feel so special. And just hearing how my mom talks about their relationship. Like, you just don't make it 32 years without being a certain type of man. You know what I'm saying? Having that certain type of commitment, things of that nature. Like, for example, when my parents got married, or probably before my parents got married before they had me. So I'll be hearing all this afterwards. But somewhere along the lines, my dad told my mom, for our 20th wedding anniversary, I'm gonna buy you a Jaguar. And I was present the day he bought my mom a Jaguar on their 20th anniversary. Like, I remember that. Like, things like that. Like, I want to make promises like that to my wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, when we get married, hey, whatever you want to attest to, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you want. Like, I got you in 15, 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the type of time I'm trying to be on. So, definitely taught me a lot. My dad was an authoritarian growing up, so I didn't talk to my dad about dating a lot growing up. But as I get older, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I need to go to somebody or ask somebody something, you know, like, he'll tell me. He'll let me know. Like, my dad did so much for me as a young black man in America, whether it's, you know, teaching me how to change a tire, like the basics of being a man. I understand those principles. I understand how to be a gentleman, and then just seeing how he treated my mom. And I think my mom played a part in that too. Like, her just telling me, like, okay, you should do this. Like, you know, sometimes you got to go to a woman to know how to treat a woman as well. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just always come from a man, because we don't know how it feels when certain things happen to y'all. So I got to give my mom credit as well. But yeah, shout out to my dad. He's definitely been a part of my life. Big part of my life, crucial part of my life. Like, if I've never gave you flowers, Pops, like, here's your flowers. Like, I appreciate that.
That's the real. That's the real right there.
For sure.
Seriously, I've met. Well, for those of you who don't know how I know Alex, Alex is my boyfriend's friend. Like, they're very close friends, and so I've had the pleasure of meeting Alex's parents, both of them, and then definitely his dad. They're always small world. Like, growing up, like, we lived like 15 minutes from each other, but I never knew Alex before meeting Sam and stuff. So, like, I've been to, like, Alex's parents' house and everything, and met his parents and everything. Like, from what he's saying and stuff, from my interactions with them, they're very, like, respectable people, and, you know, you could just tell, like, they mean business, and they always have, like, just that sense of love, like, surrounding them and in the house, and from what I've seen. So yeah, definitely, like, shout out to the Bothwells, but definitely Mr. Bothwell for sure.
It's funny, to the point my grandma was at the house. My mom already says this. Like, she's been saying this for, like, the last 3-4 years, but the other day, my grandma, my dad's mom, was at the house, and we're talking about something, and she was like, hold on. She was like, you giving me straight Anthony vibes. And I was like, dang, for real? But, like, that's a compliment, honestly. Like, if there's any man I would want to be like in the world, it's him. So I'll tell you that.
We love that. We love that. I definitely like that y'all had two different perspectives, but both very necessary perspectives. I like that you mentioned the fact that, like, even though your dad wasn't a part of a portion of your life, now that, like, he is now, because it takes a lot, I would say, to, like, invite somebody back into your life for whatever reason that y'all were disconnected, and make that conscious decision, because who knows what could have, like, something could have tainted your view, and you just like, oh, I don't need my dad, this, that, like so many people do, but you still, like, welcome the idea of him coming back into your life, and you're learning from his mistakes, and you're, like, passing those gems on to other people. It's a really big and I think crucial part of just life, but especially for black men, for sure. Just a part of y'all's whole existence and growth and development. So I think that was really important for sure. So I appreciate you sharing that as well. And the next question is directed towards Alex, and this question was made by all of us, so don't think it's me trying to be funny or coming for you. But with sincere and unbiased honesty, why do you think you're still single at the moment?
Because women ain't shit. No, I'm just playing.
We just talked about.
No, I'm just playing. No, that's not the real reason. With sincere honesty, you know, simply put, because I know who I am and I know what I'm looking for. So I think the reason I'm still single, like as I stated earlier, I've been single 4.5 years at this point. Crazy in my opinion, but probably necessary. I'm very picky. Like I said, like when I get married, it can't fail. Like, of course, that's always a possibility, but like I'm trying to follow in my parents' footsteps. So like divorce, failing, you know what I'm saying? Like I grew up in a happy household. Like that's not an option. So like I'm very picky off rip. You know what I'm saying? I know who I am and I know what I want. I know what I'm looking for, like all these things. So like how I was kind of telling you earlier, like if it's not gonna work, like I'm okay with walking away.
You got to pay to play. Like dating is expensive. It just is what it is. It don't matter. Like, so, you know, just get your money up. Make sure you got your goals straight up, and then you gotta have a good time. But yeah. And this is a big one. I feel like date women in your tax bracket. Date women in your tax bracket. If you a Applebee's nigga, find you an Applebee's shorty.
Yes.
Right? Don't go messing with the Roof Chris girls and be out here because now you can't pay rent, car note missing, dating your tax bracket. You have a much better time.
Or now you're on Twitter because you try to take the Roof Chris shorty to Applebee's.
Yeah.
Mine would be advice to men who want to settle down. In addition to what he said, I think don't force it. Your time will come. If you got that feeling to get up out of there, get up out of there. But just don't force it on some real stuff. Like, don't force it. Dating is work and it's hard work, but like, it shouldn't be like stressful.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you should enjoy dating. You know. So if it ain't bringing you peace, it's not gonna bring you peace when she your girlfriend.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind.
Good.
That's good advice.
Yeah, women, y'all got any advice that a man might need to hear if he's looking to settle down? No. Oh, excuse. Dang, jeez. I was just gonna say be romantic.
Heal first.
Heal.
Before you get in anybody else's life. Work on you for real. Don't think that I don't need, and this is just men and women, because black people, we have a problem with this, but we're talking to men. You need therapy. I don't need that. I'm working on it myself. You can't work on something you don't know you have a problem with.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, like, go heal.
Yeah.
Get help. We all need it. Before you want to bring anybody else into your life, work on you. Because all you're doing is filling a void that you can fill yourself with therapy and Jesus.
Period.
So, yeah.
I love that.
Know yourself.
You said love yourself?
I said know yourself.
Know yourself, yeah. That's real. Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Well, that was... I didn't feel the need to elaborate on my be romantic because it's just plain and simple. Whatever romance looks like to you, it don't have to be all the time, but like, you know, add a little something, a little extra, like on both ends anyway. But, okay, and then our last question is our how's life, sis? So, yeah, how is your dating / relationship life currently?
Me personally, like I said, I am still going through, I feel like, my personal isolation phase. So I'm enjoying this period where I'm just kind of like getting to know me. I'm open to dating, but like that's not my main priority right now. You know, like I'm really just kind of focusing on myself. And I feel like the time will come. You know, like I'm not rushing it. Like I'm chilling. I'm big chilling. And I know that sounds toxic because people are like, oh, I'm chilling. They be like, oh, what does that really mean? But I'm like really chilling for real. So I'm not, you know, like I'm open to dating, but like right now, like I said, it's not my main priority. So it's not like, you know, the plant that I'm choosing to water. The plant's there, but like I'm just not focused on it, you know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I feel right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sage?
I would say my dating life looks a lot different than it once did, probably, to a lot of people. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. Maybe I'll be more forthcoming about that information later on. But for now, like, I'm just taking it easy, like, trying to meet people in a nice, organic way and, you know, see what I like and don't like. Even though I feel like I have a good idea, I just think that these people are crazy, and dealing with these new kind of people is very different as well. So, but you know, I'm here, I'm sticking it out. Like, I don't have any desire right now to go back to the other kind of people that I was dealing with once upon a time. So, you know, just gonna figure that shit out. Anyways, next person.
I guess it's me. My relationship life, it's a learning process. I have no further comment. Straight like that.
I'm focusing on my art, bro. I think I'm just gonna focus on like just getting back into creating. It was a period of time where I was creating. I just loved creating, and I think I got so caught up in what I was dealing with Shawty that dude, whatever you want to call him, that I just lost sight of myself. So like, I'm gonna delete Hinge today.
Okay.
And I'm just focusing on me and God, because God has been screaming at me.
Yeah.
He's just like, girl, I have so much fire right now, but I need you to listen. And I haven't been listening. I've been listening a lot more. I think these past couple of months just allowed me to kind of sit back and look at life differently. So I'm chilling. Like Queso said,
Hey,
I'm
we in it
big
together,
chilling.
I love that.
We in it.
Go to the port by myself.
Xavier.
I'm happy and in love.
Point blank. Period.
Period.
Get you some.
Yeah. Read the question again. I just want to make sure before I answer.
How is your dating/relationship life?
It's cool. It's smooth. Like I said, I get at the God. I am dating actively. It's going smooth. I'm not one person to date multiple people at once, so it's cool. We'll see. That's all I'm gonna say. We'll see. But it's in God's hands, so
Period.
He got my back. You know what I'm saying? Whatever's gonna happen, it meant to happen. So I'm cool with it.
We love that.
Period.
Okay, great. That's the end of the episode, guys. We really hope that you enjoyed the discussion. Please be sure to repost, like, comment, subscribe. Give us feedback. We love hearing from y'all. Any sort of pointers, constructive criticism, or just takeaways. We absolutely love hearing from you guys. If you want to email us, feel free to email us at lifeisweirdpod1@gmail.com. That's lifeisweirdpod1@gmail.com. And yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you to our lovely guests for participating.
Thank y'all so much.
We really appreciate you guys. We really appreciate you guys. And yeah, tune into the next episode.
Close your legs to married men. Close them.
Closed to married men.
Close them.
Period.
Keep them closed.
It's a wrap.
And women.
Bye.